two, one, you're live.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today's stream. We've got a packed show. First, a huge iPhone 15 Pro leak reveals a major design change, so young people get ready to answer some brand new support questions. Apple still hasn't released iOS 16.4, but that's not going to stop us from telling you about all the great new features and settings. And it's deja vu all over again as the federal government is threatening to ban TikTok in the United States. All that and more on today's show. But let's start by firing up the neurons. It's pretty early on the West Coast anyway, and I know we have someone from Utah in the chat and hopefully some other folks from the West Coast. Who came up with the phrase deja vu all over again? Fire up your answers in the chat.
It's a good question. Good question, David. I think somebody's going to get it.
We'll see.
Yep.
Good morning, Rusty and Dion and member Daryl Steele. Scott De Matteo tuning in from Maryland. That's the East Coast, so if your neurons aren't firing at this point, get some more coffee in the system.
Oh, PGJC.
PGJC gets it. Berra, Yogi Berra, very good.
Very nice.
Very
Give the man a prize, Zach.
What has he won?
He's won a free invite to our Discord server, which
Link
you can join.
Link in the section below the subscribe button. So let's talk about that new iPhone 15 Pro leak. iPhone 15 Pro to have new unified volume button with pressing type mute button.
What the heck is going on here? So, unified volume button, meaning it's going to be touch volume up and down?
I believe so, yep.
They would say?
Yeah, we've got a picture of the leak, too, we can put up on the screen.
We do. Roll the clip.
Roll the clip. So as previously rumored, the next generation iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max will feature a unified volume button and mute button, according to CAD images shared in a video on the Chinese version of TikTok by Chen Wen, 1987, and posted to Twitter by Shrimp Apple Pro. What do you think of that design?
Well, let's throw it back on the screen. And I think, how different is it really? I guess it's the slide up and down volume button. We'll see how that does. Because all of a sudden, people are going to have to not be wearing gloves. People aren't going to be able to adjust the volume in the snow. That's somewhat problematic, I think. I liked the physical volume buttons a lot more than I liked the physical home button. I'll tell you that much. It's nice. It's good.
Yeah,
it's
well,
tactile.
they have the gloves now that can touch screens. So maybe Apple will sell a pair of those for $79.99.
And I do like the new silent ring switch because I hate the silent slider on my phone, especially when I have the case on. It's just so hard to get in there and move it. I think it'll be a lot easier if you just click it.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things where the people who work with iPhones or are really passionate about iPhones might think it's a bad design change. But we see all the time. People don't know what that switch is. They don't know what happens when they change it. And I think this is actually going to be a really positive user experience change for the vast majority of iPhone users.
It's tactile. So now you can tell if it's pushed in or pushed out generally. I'm sure that they'll make it so that you don't have to be looking at it. But yeah, the whole pull forward, push back thing doesn't really make a ton of sense. And then the little orange slider. I'm glad to see that little button go.
Yep. So let's fire up that poll question, Zach. Do you like the idea of a unified volume button?
I think what Apple's thinking of is the new unified volume slider on the AirPods Pro 2nd Gen, the capacitive touch slider. They've kind of invented the technology already, and it works well. I'm not super excited about that on the iPhone. I don't know why the volume buttons are bad, but they're adding another button for the ring silent switch. So they're getting rid of two buttons and replacing it with one button.
Yeah. Member Daryl Steele says protective cases might be problematic as well with the unified volume
They
button.
always are. The Apple cases are generally pretty good, except for the ring silent switch. I mean, I still can't reach in there. They're very good for the buttons, but some protective cases are very stiff, and it makes it difficult at this point to change the volume on your phone. This is also going to be problematic. You just got to be able to reach in there. I hope they make the hole big enough, Really got to get in there for an adult size. Otherwise, we're going to have, it's like a kid crawling through a crawl space. Like, oh, we're trapped in the room. It's filling up with gas. I can't breathe. Okay. Oh, but there's a kid here. You can crawl through the air duct and then crawl out the other way and then unlock the door on the other side of the room and let us out. Save the day. What is this, Hollywood now, Apple? Come on.
Sounds like an episode of Star Trek where they have to go through the Jeffries tubes. Quite a few questions about the name of the iPhone 15. Stephen Lister, do you think it will be called the iPhone 15 or something else? What do you think?
I think iPhone 15 is a pretty nice round number, so why would they change it now after they did the iPhone 13 and iPhone 14, iPhone 15? I think the better question is not to criticize your question. Is the iPhone 15 going to be the last sequentially named iPhone? What about the iPhone 16? iPhone 17? That seems kind of awful. iPhone 19?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well,
I was thinking they could call the iPhone
like the
15
XX.
I was going to say they could do the iPhone XV. Yeah.
You're right, and then they'll confuse everybody all over again. That's smart.
Yeah. That's they're not going to do that.
No.
They're probably going to keep doing the numbers until their sales start to dip, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's not a bad. I mean, maybe they'll just switch to generations, but I don't think they want to do that because then it wouldn't be as obvious that somebody has the newest one, which is a selling point. People want the newest one. And if they look the same, then you got to number them.
Mm-hmm. Slushy says, I heard the iPhone 15 will cost more than $100. That's it's a safe bet.
No. More than $100.
We've got folks from Belgium, California, Detroit, Canada, Raleigh, all over.
Yeah. And I'm just going to give a shout out here to Scott DiMatteo. He's a Windows 11 guy, but just bought a Mac Studio in 2023. He hopes he made the right choice. I do video and music production. Scott, we feel you. I feel your pain.
I think he made the right choice there.
He did make the right choice, yeah. Definitely. It's good to wait. I mean, with a lot of the audio production software, video production software, companies are always late to the game whenever they change the chip architecture. So it was good to wait a couple of years after the Intel chips went away. Now everybody's got native Apple Silicon chips. You did good. You did good, Scott.
Channel member F9 Fad, what do you do with the iPhone 14 Pro when you buy a 15 Pro?
Wow. Philosophical question there. What do you do with it?
I mean, trade it in.
Same thing you do with...
Maybe get a little discount.
The same thing you do with September when it becomes October. Forget about it.
Okay.
Set it down, set it and forget it. But it's important with iPhone batteries, if you plan on using or storing your phone for a long period of time, to discharge it to 50% because you don't want to let it go all the way down to zero. Lithium-ion batteries do not like to be completely discharged. If they lose all their voltage, they never work again. 50% is the way to go.
Yeah, I would look into trading it back into your carrier because sometimes they'll give you a pretty steep discount on the new phone if you trade in your old phone.
Yeah, or just sell it on eBay. Or donate it to one of the other wonderful people in the chat. Obviously, you're loaded. He's getting a new iPhone 14 Pro every year. I mean, what's that to you? Come on. Give it to somebody else. Does anybody in the chat want him to give up his iPhone 14 Pro in September? Come on, you could be a hero here. You can really change somebody's life. Also, oh wait, this is a channel member I'm sort of giving a tough time to here. That's not good.
Yeah.
Is
that going to drastically change your answer?
Please don't unsubscribe. I think sell it. Yep.
Channel member NGT says greetings from a slightly sunny and chilly UK.
Well, that's
And
not
we've got
bad.
a super chat. How about that?
Greetings to you.
From Stephen McCoy. Do you think an
The real
overseas
one?
iPhone 14 with the SIM card and tray would work in America?
Yes. And I don't even just think that. I know that. Of course it will. As long as it's not carrier locked.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it's the US phones that have always been carrier locked, I think. At least that's the way it used to be. Tommy E8 asks 15 Pro or Pro Max? I don't know.
I don't know.
It depends on what you like to hold. I mean, I'm a Pro guy. I could have the Pro Max, but it's a big phone. I like the little phones. Not like it's little, but I like to be able to
the Pro
comfortably
Max phones
type
are,
with one hand.
yeah. The Pro Max phones are getting gigantic, and I feel like you don't really get much extra. You pay a lot more, but you don't. What do you really get more?
Well, I guess that's what we'll see. Sometimes you get more RAM, but usually you don't get anything else. Sometimes you get the lighter. Sometimes they build in a feature that's only on the Pro Max.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't squeeze it down into the regular Pro. But usually that feature isn't a deal breaker for people. It's not like a super primary feature, let's say. You get a bigger battery.
Poll results. So go ahead.
No, go ahead, David. We're on a little bit of a delay here.
The poll results are in. Do you like the idea of a unified volume button? 68% said no. 31% said yes. I'm a little bit surprised by those results, but there you have it.
That doesn't add up to 100. Jeez. What, did 1% abstain?
There's no, I don't know. But
No
we'll
abstentions?
send those right up to Apple and let your complaints be known.
Yeah, we actually have Tim Cook on the line.
Yeah.
We are so excited about this year's iPhone 15 Pro.
Lola, I wish I could afford an iPhone. James Bolin says hi from Canada. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you and everyone else who's in the chat today. Ken says he wants the iPhone 14 Pro. That's being given away in the chat. We've already made that decision for you. It's being given away. You're not going to do anything else with it.
Yep.
Scott
Thanks, by the way.
DiMatteo, I got a new phone every other generation, so I'll be getting a new one this fall. Congratulations.
I get a new yacht every year. I'm going to get a new one this fall.
Yeah.
Is he a channel member that I'm busting on? Uh-oh.
No.
Hey, you know what a great way to
Yeah.
support our channel is? To become a channel member. Maybe you like to get busted on publicly by the host of a YouTube show. And if you do, hit that subscribe button or the join button right below this video. It helps us out a lot.
A lot of Canadians in the chat today. We've got Build a Bear from Oakville, Canada. It's a clever name. Camilla wants to know when the iPhone 15 Pro will be released. It's going to be released barring some sort of production issue in September of this year. So what's that? Almost exactly 6 months from today, I would say.
Set your watches, folks.
Yeah. Just want to hit on a couple more chats. We'll move on to the iOS 16.4 stuff. Tammy, channel member, good morning, guys. Cold here in South Carolina this morning. Daryl says, agree to the Pro Max, not much more to it. And F9 Fad, do we buy the iPhones on release day?
Mm-hmm. But we don't wait in line. We actually pre-order the phones so that they show up on release day. The last thing I want to do is spend more time in a line at an Apple store. Holy crap.
It's rough. It's rough out there. Yeah, if you have an iPhone or tech-related YouTube channel, getting the phones, pre-ordering the phones is almost a prerequisite because if you wait and then you don't get the phone for 6 weeks and then you're, 2 months behind everyone else on the content side of things. So pre-order,
Hey,
get them on
Tammy.
release day. That's that.
I just want to... Tammy asked what was the leak, and the leak is unified volume up and down buttons where you use your finger to slide up and down for the volume. No more actual buttons. And instead of a ring silent switch that you push back and forth, that now is the button. Push up and down. Just wanted to acknowledge Tammy because she is one of our best friends and channel members.
Also want to give a shout out to Zek because, we've had some complaints about the sound effects in the past. Where'd it go? Toledo 08 says, I love the sound effects. So,
yeah. No,
there
Zach's doing a great job. Zach, give yourself a round of applause. All right. Lola.
Dave is also
$2.
from British Columbia, Canada, too. Lola, $2 super chat. Thank you, Lola.
Thanks so much. Yeah, we got the little Hardy guy. Enjoying the sunshine here in Kelowna, British Columbia. One of my favorite places to visit. Actually, British Columbia is beautiful. Never been there. Kelowna, Bahama. Is that a Beach Boys song or something?
That's Kokomo, yeah.
Tammy.
I don't think Kelowna was one of the.
Was one of the.
I don't think.
Tammy, thank you so
British
much.
Columbia was on the list.
Yeah. Wonderful to see you. And Carl's. Good evening from Ghana, West Africa. Same
Wow.
to you. Good evening. I know. We're really a worldwide
All right.
channel. Next.
Simon, also, everyone who's from Canada is letting us know. We appreciate all the Canadian support we have.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's
my
talk
last
about
name's
iOS
Payette, which is
16.4.
French Canadian. Okay, go ahead, David.
Yeah, French Canadian. Payette's French Canadian.
Yeah, apparently it was some sort of. Anyway, continue. We're over it. It's all right.
Okay. Well, there was the soccer player Dimitri Payette, who was from France.
There was, in fact, a U.S. astronaut named Julie Payette, but who cares about that? Okay, moving on.
Okay. So it's been a while since we talked about iOS 16.4, and it's still in beta. What's taking Apple so long? We don't know. They said it'd come out in spring. It's now officially spring, so keep an eye out on that. But as we await the release, we want to tell you about some of the new features and settings you can look forward to. Right off the bat, we have a whole bunch of new emojis, including new instruments like the flute and maracas, new animals like a moose, goose, and jellyfish, different colors for the heart emoji, including pink. I'm not sure why that wasn't there before. And an emoji I know you've been waiting for, David, the hyacinth emoji.
Yeah. Hyacinth. Is that a flower?
It is a flower, yeah.
All right. The hyacinth. I'm not a flower guy. Listen, I mean, every time I've tried to own a plant, it's died. But it's been a choice between the cats and the plant, and the cats win. The cats get in there and just until there's no more dirt in it. All the dirt's on the floor. Yeah.
A bit more exciting than emojis, push notifications for web apps saved to an iPhone or iPad's home screen. So let's show them what that looks like. We have the Starbucks pulled up. Can we cut to the side cam?
The Starbucks. Let's pull up the Starbucks. I'll open.
Let's pull up the Starbucks.
Safari. This is the Starbucks. Starbucks website. But here's the new technology. I guess I'll take this.
Yep.
Tap the share button in the bottom center of the screen. It's the box with the arrow coming out of it. And then I'll scroll down a little bit to add to home screen. I'll tap on that and tap add. Looks like the same process as it always was, but it's not. Because now when I go to open this Starbucks web app, I'm not in Safari anymore. We're not in Kansas anymore. This is a Safari. This is like this is an app. This is legitimate. This is as appy can get. So wasn't that cool? I could just install an app that easy. It looks like we should do this on Pay It Forward, huh, David?
We sure should. And also, these web apps can now send notifications.
And that's another reason why we should do it on Pay It Forward. Whoa! Chaplain. He's a chaplain. He's a doctor. Everyone, welcome Johnny Montalvo. Studio audience, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Looks like he's in the Army. Army chaplain? Navy? Chaplain? That's a tough job. And that's a cool job. I had a friend that did that.
I always feel bad when people send super chats and then don't ask anything. So feel free to ask.
So misplaced. That your guilt is misplaced, David.
Okay.
David feels guilty if you give us money and don't ask a question.
Yep. Or
I don't
make a witty observation about the stream.
He said thank you. You just got to accept it. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, there you go.
Web app functionality is also coming to other browsers other than Safari, like Chrome. So that's cool. But I don't know. Not many people use Chrome on iPhones anyway. So
not a lot. I was looking at those statistics the other day. It really is mostly Safari people on iPhone, which makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Next up, for Apple Books users, making its triumphant return, the page curl animation when you turn the page in the Books app, Apple Books app, makes it feel just a little bit more like you're not staring at your phone screen, but you still are. But people have been asking for that. Apple brought it back. That's neat.
So if I'm reading the main stage user guide, let's show people this amazing. Look at this. Choose a theme, page turn animation, Zach. And more to make each book perfect for you. Okay, here we go. So there are different page turn animations, themes and settings. And we can slide or we can curl or we can none. Let's see here. Oh,
How about that?
Oh, look at these pages. They're transparent. Can I get an Apple Pencil for the iPhone so I can just write on the page? Circle something? Take a note? Nope. That's what I want, iOS 17.
You can buy a stylus at Staples for $9.99 and use that.
Yeah. Use your finger.
Another exciting new Apple service, Apple Music Classical, coming March 28th. Apple says it's going to be the largest classic music catalog in the world. So if you go into the music app on your iPhone...
Zach's playing the snoring sound effects, David.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Oh boy, all 12 people who are going to use this. The classical music world is struggling, man. All of the season ticket holders in the symphonies are dying, so that's not good. But I mean, David, you like classical music? Listen to a lot of it?
No, I wouldn't. No.
No. Zach, I think we've got some classical music queued up, don't we? Little
Somewhere.
La Donne Mobile. Oh boy. Yeah, it's opera.
That's not really that's not really classical, is it?
It's opera. It's written in the 17. It was Rigoletto classical music. Does it sound like pop music to you?
A little bit, yeah. A lot of modern commercials parody this. But anyway, Apple Music Classical standalone app. It's included with most of your Apple Music subscriptions. Not included with the $4.99 voice plan. So go download that and listen to some Beethoven in a week.
You know, I've been to the Beethoven house in Bonn, Germany. Got to see his piano. Yeah. That was cool. Ed Kelly says, David's. Tammy says that's opera. Okay. And Daryl Steele says, I'll be back.
That's good.
Now you know why all are sleeping.
Hercules says it's Bach's birthday today. Is that true?
He's got a 1 out of 365 chance of being right.
Yeah. I don't like those odds, but why would he lie about that?
It's in 10 days.
Is it in 10 days?
That's what Zach just said.
March 31st.
Okay. So that's okay.
Honestly,
that's, interesting.
Yeah. Bayerwald, with Bayerwald would mean like Bavarian forest. Classical music is still pretty big in Europe. The Berlin Philharmonic are pretty big here in Germany, and they're fabulous. I actually miss living near culture. But it's the price you pay in upstate New York. I love opera. I actually love opera. What is?
No, I was just reading one of the comments.
Which one?
From Toledo.
Toledo. That music is complete trash. No, it's not. It's not trash. The thing about opera is that you need to go and see it to understand why it's awesome, because it has this effect in your ear, and it's just like this ringing, beautiful sound that you cannot hear through speakers. Just not a thing. The human voice, it's like, it feels good. It's physically a comfortable sensation.
They don't do opera at SPAC, at Saratoga Performing Arts Center?
Well, you got to be in a room where you can actually hear it without the amplification, because as soon as it doesn't matter if it's at SPAC, if you're hearing it through the speakers, it's still speakers. Cheryl suggests Apple Music chanting or Gregorian chant, perhaps. That'll be next. See You Never says Bach was born the 21st of March, 1685. Zach, have we been fed some misinformation here? Can you fact check yourself? We don't want to get this wrong.
Oh, wow, I'm sorry. He was born in the 21st.
The Pope decided what the calendar was going to be, and then they realized they got way off.
Yes, that makes sense. I forgot about that whole thing.
Yes. They said, you got to change the date. It's not a summer.
Mike Katona says he lives in Albania. Hello, from Albania.
Cool.
Lola says she loves the channel. Very
We love you,
kind.
Lola. Yeah.
David and David don't share the same office now. No, I'm at home this week, so this is where I usually work out of. There's a I was looking into. In town we have like a remote co-working space. Guess how much the monthly cost is?
At Saranac Lake for remote co-working? $100 a month.
Yeah, more.
$150.
Yeah, it's $150 a month. It's like, okay, well, I can't afford that.
Gonna go $150 a month to share a space with other people, and that's a lot. I mean, you probably get free coffee. Yeah. Somebody's got to pay for the coffee maker. Yeah, big changes around here. So we just got a brand new studio. I bought a new house yesterday. This studio is so cramped. And eventually we'll take some video and show you guys the behind the scenes here, because if it looks spacious on camera, it's all trickery. Now there's a car alarm going off outside. But the new place is awesome. We're going to have a lot more space to work with. It's going to be awesome. I want to take you guys on a tour, but we don't have the resources for that right now. I mean, I can't remember. Thank you guys for the new home, people.
Scott DiMatteo says shared office space equals Panera Bread. Expensive. That would just be just as expensive though, because you'd go in, you buy a $20 panini and a $5
I know,
cookie.
right?
And
I know. Panera, it's like, it looks like a good deal, and then every time you spend $20.
yeah,
At least. I'll do the pick too.
used to be a good deal. Now it's expensive.
Yep, Daryl's waiting on the housewarming invitation. You're all invited. Man. Zach, Ed Kelly's on your case. He loves you. We love you too. Daryl Steele waiting on the housewarming invitation. Yep, and Tammy, congrats to the new home. Thank you very much. It went really smoothly, the buying process for me. It was super easy. The sellers were responsive. The house is in great shape. No major issues. I feel like it was very smooth. It was my first one, so. Brought my parents over there last night, David, for the first time.
Fun.
Showed mom and dad around the place. Yeah, they were concerned. Talked about got to change the locks. Neighbors going to be
There's
breaking
no
in
like
and stealing.
trapdoors or, like
No.
Indiana Jones stuff's going to start flying out of the walls if you make a wrong step.
Yeah. Not that I took Zek over there yesterday, and there's this switch in the basement. We don't know what it does. I was afraid it was going to explode, so I had him flip it. Tammy says, did it take you 6 months to close? No, it took about a month and a half to close. Which, met the neighbors yet? Not yet. Not yet. And Ed says, congratulations. Looking forward to meeting the neighbors. They're, look like a bunch of nice people. So it's a lot of space. It's great. A lot of space in the house, a lot of space around the house. 3 acres. This is awesome. Got a ravine we can throw people in. Love your turn these things on or off videos, says Scott DiMatteo. As soon as my Mac Studio arrives on Friday, I'll be checking them out. Well, we don't have one for Mac. Do we, David?
We have a turn off Mac video. We have 1 or 2. But,
yeah. But everything's changed since then in iOS or Mac OS.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever the heck we're on. What are we on? Ventura, is it called? What is it called now? Ventura 3.13.2, yeah. Tammy says, oh, we're lucky. And I think so, too. I did get lucky with the sellers. They were excellent. And I had a great agent. She finally got paid. I was happy about that. You want to feel guilty. Real estate agents, they don't get paid until the end. That's a long time. That's a lot of work that they do before getting $1.
I suppose, but yeah, I suppose.
Then I guess they then get a lot of dollars, but by hour and the amount of hours she put in, it wasn't a ton. Scott, we cannot make you a new video every time you buy a new computer. Maybe time to make a new video for Mac, he says. Geez, I got a new computer.
Yeah. Make a note of that video idea, and we'll look into it.
Idea. Yep.
Because our old Mac video did really well, and then we made a new one, and it didn't do as well. So it's kind of, Anyway.
Yep. George Webb says, so you're making plenty of dollars here, David. We just keep investing forward. Move the train forward. You guys the train has left the station. It's
in the description section of this video. Are Mac OS updates and installations free, or is it paid like Windows?
They are free. Free. They used to be paid. Then they were like, nah, we're not doing that anymore. I remember, I think it was Lion. It used to be $100, then it was $30 for the upgrade. And then they were like, nah, doesn't cost anything more. Chaplain Doctor said, congratulations on the home purchase. Tammy asks, do we have a keyboard shortcut on the website video for iMac? I got a Mac last April, still trying to learn it. And really, that's a good question. One of my favorite keyboard shortcuts on the Mac is just Command Space to open Spotlight. Hold Command, hit that space bar, can open any program on your Mac. Uh-oh, now we're having buffering problems.
Yeah,
Mac keyboard shortcuts video is a good idea.
Yeah, lagging. We're lagging.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What's going on, Zach?
Internet's not working. YouTube's not getting enough data to stream. So I don't know if the router's croaking or something.
Let's throw up a pause screen.
So the data comes from the computer, right?
Yeah.
So you're not going to see anything over there.
Yeah.
It's in Streamlabs.
Yeah. Well, we can't change it without getting kicked out.
know you like to kill this. Oh, I just killed everything, didn't I? Did I just kill David?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my bad. So, oh good, look at my ass. Oh my god, that's awful.
Let's see.
Get David back.
Oh yeah, the internet's real bad right now. Struggle. Here's this.
What else can you quit?
I mean, Discord
Yep,
maybe.
quit it.
But that's
How
that's
will I?
try that out. I can't check if the stream is good.
Right.
Because of,
That's all right. That's good.
but
Let's see.
I hope.
So, yeah, let us know. Are we still buffering? It's not, yeah, Veteran GA. It's not your connection. It is us. So I think my internet just went out. Hey, at the new house, we got new internet. David, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
All right, cool. I can hear you too. Mechanic says it's fine here in Sydney. Okay. Yeah, let us know if you guys are seeing issues. Hit it with a hammer. We did, Daryl.
They've got opera over in
Did you
Sydney.
just-
They got a whole opera house.
All right, Lola. Back to normal. George, back to normal. Better now. Firewalled. Yo. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to hook up my earplugs again the right way. Earbuds, whatever they are. Jeez. Oh my God. Look who's here. This guy, Nick Austin, just said, y'all need Fios. Well, Nick, whoever you are. In fact, in the new house, we're getting Fios.
Exciting.
It is exciting. We're going to have 1 gig up. We're going to have 1 gig down. Amazing.
I feel like those clapping sound effects are the same ones they use in the Eric Andre show. Is that right, Zach?
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds the same.
We definitely did not make it ourselves. We could do that. We could sit in a room and clap in front of microphones and then just do it over and over and over again and layer it.
Yeah.
So thanks for the thumbs up on the feed. Live streams are tough. And that actually wasn't internet. That was Zek's computer struggling. So I just had to go yell at it.
All right. Well, why don't we move on to potential TikTok ban in the United States, third story of the stream. And we're at the 2/3 way mark. So look how well that's worked out. The United States is threatening to ban TikTok again. It's like a bad will they, won't they storyline in your favorite sitcom. And, I'm just kind of waiting for them to make up their minds on what to do. Because we saw the Trump administration, we're going to ban TikTok if you don't divest from Chinese investors. And that got tossed out the window by the Biden administration until the Biden administration comes back and says, hey, we're going to ban TikTok if you don't divest from your Chinese investors.
I think that all the politicians, left and right, have not done a very good job of communicating why we should do it. So people said, oh, it's China, right? But who gives a shit what country it's... What TikTok is doing, and I'm not... Okay, I shouldn't have said that for any number of reasons. But it has nothing to do with a country. It has to do with what they're doing, and it does so have to do with the country. So, I mean, it's not like it doesn't have to do with the country. Here we go. We'll cut this part out of the stream. Not saying that China's a great... Anyway, what TikTok is doing is TikTok is doing a lot of concerning things. First off, they're collecting biometric identifiers like face prints and voice prints from your user content. So that's actual biometric information. And they go so far as to say that they do that in their privacy policy. And they will seek any required permissions by law if they're required to. So they'll ask your permission before they capture your face or voice if required to. But that's not even the most concerning part. The other part is that they use pre-uploading to upload your content to their servers before you choose to share it publicly. So anything on your phone, maybe you open TikTok for the first time, you said allow access to all my photos, all of that can be uploaded to TikTok without your knowledge. And they say they use it to generate things like audio captions, which is transcribe their words. Hey, George, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, George.
And it's scary. They're transcribing our words, face prints, voice prints, and photos that we didn't give permission for them to take, called pre-uploading. Private photos on your phone. Like, I mean, if a foreign government did want to use that stuff against people, that's bad. Nick F., I love your loving my spiral thought patterns. It's just you say something sometimes and you feel like you have to back off. Like
I was just going to say, I mean, it's kind of interesting that they don't really care what the data is being collected. You know, they don't care about all these potential privacy concerns. What they really care about is that private data falling into the hands of a adversarial government. It's not a privacy issue. It's a who controls the data. And I think they'd be happy if the U.S. controlled all the data, and they definitely wouldn't leverage that against citizens.
Well, Scott says he works for the federal government. It's blocked on all our devices, and it should be, honestly. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. Hey, actually, we can ask Scott this question. Scott, do you have access to the, we did that secret phone codes video where like certain government officials can like the emergency bypass system. Do you have access to those codes? Because we would love to get a recording of that for an upcoming video.
What was the code, David? It was like *22.
I don't remember.
Yeah. So what David's talking about is that some government officials can have this emergency code they dial before. Steve, thank you. They have this code that they can dial before they call anybody that just bypasses. It just gives them priority on all the cell phone networks in case of emergency. I think David and I were both afraid to try it out because we didn't want to get in trouble.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that if we put it out into the universe, you know, we'd have famous politicians lining up to be a part of one of our videos, and that just hasn't been the case, unfortunately.
I think putting it out to the universe would mean writing the politicians. This is one way to put it out to the universe.
Yeah, well, my local
you're going like
rep is
law
never
of attraction.
here, so.
Yeah, I know. They don't do anything for us. Yeah, Dion says, TikTok is scary. I'm trying to get my grandkids to delete the app. Good luck.
Good luck.
How could we convince young people to delete TikTok or switch? I think that it's probably redirection. It's YouTube Shorts. Hey, YouTube Shorts has all this great stuff that's not on TikTok. Yeah. And you get to subscribe to channels like Pay It Forward. Hello, young people selling point.
I think the selling point would be...
Yeah, go ahead.
The selling point would be that a lot of times on TikTok, we see things like your favorite creators can just get banned out of nowhere. They can get content strikes pretty much out of nowhere. So support them on platforms that are more fair and transparent about how they handle that sort of thing.
You know what was funny, though, David? That story came out, and then all of a sudden the video that we published didn't do well. The story was like the algorithm, there's people that are choosing to promote specific videos, and all of ours had done well. And I think it was just a dud of a video, but then we put one out, it didn't do well. And I was thinking, darn it. And also, that specific story didn't bother me. Back in the early days of the internet, search engines like Yahoo had rooms full of humans that would go on the internet and curate what the homepage would have so that people could find good websites. It was just like a news team. You curate what people see. That's the thing about TikTok is all these people, they come out with these news articles that have nothing to do with the actual security concerns because they can't read the privacy policies. The other thing is your favorite creators don't make as much money on TikTok. So maybe but I don't know if grandkids are going to. Maybe your grandkids are.
They're not going to care about
maybe they do. I wouldn't have cared about it when I was their age.
Well, see, if you want your grandkids to stop doing something, what you got to do is give them money. Then that's it, or candy, or a trampoline, or something like that.
Or if they're very young, like a cardboard box. But they're probably not on TikTok if they're 2. Scott says, sorry, it's below his pay grade. He has a locked-down iPhone 11 for work. I think it's below most people's pay grade, Scott.
I think so, yeah. Tammy said I got rid of TikTok, but wonder how much they got before I deleted it. I am old, so they probably don't want much of mine. I don't know, because I feel like since the general audience on TikTok is younger, I feel like having, limited sample of older people. I mean, not that limited, but there might be more value in that to some people.
Toledo 08 says, I'm 15. I've never used TikTok, and I never will.
All right.
So the 08 is your birth year. That's what I'm thinking, right? 2023?
That's a good guess.
Happy birthday. So Lola says she hopes Tammy's data wasn't leaked. I'd be concerned of having my bank account details leaked. So what I used to say is unless you've given TikTok access to your bank account, they're not going to have that information. But with pre-uploading, if you took a picture of your bank account number or something, or took a picture of your password to store in the Photos app, that could be pre-uploaded to TikTok and analyzed. So that's just another scary part that hadn't occurred to me.
General rule of thumb, don't take pictures of your social security number or your bank account details or anything else, your credit card, anything that you don't want people seeing.
Jess Sarmiento says, hello from PHBTW. So I'm going to say Philippines? PH? I think so.
Yep. Yeah, because she's there 2 chats earlier as well.
Oh, Philippines has so many TikTokers, but many are learning to be smart by using TT for awareness campaigns. And that's totally fine. You just have to be careful. And you can choose in TikTok which photos you want to share with the app. So I think that's the way to do it if you're going to use it. But you just have to be real careful. Scott says the DC federal government has an alert system for all email, phone numbers, and iMessage. It's Safe Alert. Interesting. Can't argue with that. You don't want Safe Alert. Yeah. I guess you want to be dangerous.
Unsafe alert.
Yeah, you're not allowed to disagree with that one. It's probably some stupid acronym. Anyway, they would never do that. It sounds like a good idea. I don't know what it is. Okay. Philippines. Jess. We had an employee from the Philippines once, and people that I talked to in the Philippines, they're great. I really admire how well they speak English. They're better writers than a lot of the English writers we had hired way back in the day. Remember Chris Paler? He moved to Canada. Maybe you guys know him. He's a nurse now.
He might be in the chat. Yeah. A bunch of Canadians here today.
I know.
Kelly Hunter wants to know, can you have a Messenger account without Facebook? I don't think so.
No. Yeah, Facebook it's all the same thing. I mean, you might not have to have a Facebook profile, but it's a Facebook account. You might not have to have a profile. It's a Facebook account. And Veteran GA says he doesn't use TikTok, does use YouTube, Truth Social, Twitter, Facebook, but about to quit Facebook and Twitter because they're getting boring.
Okay.
Interesting. Hey, we're still on the list though, David. I'm glad about that. Yeah, and I'm sure that the only reason he's staying is for,
obviously.
We're glad you're here. Obviously. Is anybody else on this platform? All right. Scott keeps saying, I've seen a lot of 2FA, so two-factor authentication and multi-factor authentication being hacked lately, and we have too. I hope Apple can enhance security and take it to the next level without doing too much to impact the user. And that's been the push around security keys, and we did a video on that. Security keys are those little things in your keychain that are NFC. You touch it to the top of your phone whenever you would use two-step authentication. Hopefully that fixes this problem, because people's YouTube accounts have been getting hacked like crazy lately because people are able to bypass that.
Member ENGT, we could be losing access to WhatsApp in the UK because of legislation to scan all communication for child-related content. The CEO has said that the app will not comply.
Where is that? Ah, yes. Well, that's a whole other story. It's interesting. Apple was going to do that, and then they canned it.
Yep.
We made a video about how, it was basically, I don't want to lump David in here, but I was very concerned about it because the process they use to scan is very imperfect. And the database they use to check against can be manipulated by governments. So I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was an opt-in, opt-out, though, wasn't it? So I was just kind of like, if you're concerned, just opt out.
Well, the only way to opt out was to turn off iCloud Photos. But yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of inconvenient for a lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't want to inconvenience the predators.
Get rid of this essential iCloud feature. The most important iCloud feature.
Yeah, exactly. Niana Surian says, how can we choose photo TikTok has access? Can we screen it after Zach? Let's go to the side cam. We'll do a little demo here. Oh, we don't have the side cam anymore.
Well, you're setting that up.
This is
a lot of people.
We don't plug in the camera.
Yeah.
Got to plug in the camera, Zach. Okay.
People arguing about Twitter. Yeah, I mean, I Twitter has just kind of fallen off a cliff in terms of usability since Elon took over for me. I'm getting recommended a bunch of weird stuff now that I was never recommended before. It crashes all the time. There was an issue one day where the images just wouldn't load on the website. And I don't know if you've seen the stories about if you email their press team, you're getting no response. It's interesting. I see the side cam now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Zach fixed it. Let's give Zach a round of applause,
right,
studio audience. Can we give him a round of applause? Thank you. Okay. All right, that's nice. So if I go to the settings app on my phone, scroll down to privacy and security, tap on that, then tap photos, then scroll down to TikTok. And actually right now I'm giving it access to all photos, which is not the right thing to have on. Change it to selected photos. And then you can select the photos you want to give it access to. It's a little bit more of a pain if you're in the app, but it makes you more secure. So now TikTok wouldn't have access to photos except for the ones that I select. And that is exactly what I should have it on. I don't really use TikTok. They can't pre-upload your content if the app isn't open. But still, that's a little scary.
And even if you're just someone who browses TikTok and watches the videos but doesn't upload any of your own, just set that to none. Don't even worry about it.
Exactly. And Zach, let's go back to the side cam because I just noticed this. Allow TikTok to access your full photo library or only photos you select. Access to photos includes associated metadata such as location and depth information, so they can see where you are when you took the photos too. There's just a lot. They should add that switch to iPhone. The restrict metadata, like don't share metadata with Facebook, with TikTok. Don't share where the photo was taken because obviously that's a privacy concern. But by default, looks like there's no way to turn that off. In fact, when you send a photo using the Photos app, you can turn that off. Let's head to... Let's see, iCloud, and here's a picture of, let's see, a hole in a rock. Do a sold. Here's me in front of a house, right? Sold. All right. So if I want to send this to somebody, I can do this, and then I tap options at the very top, And right now I have include all photos data turned off. By default, I think it's on. So if I turn it off and then I share it, it won't send the location as well.
Yep. And Tammy's asking, can they get your pictures if you only watch TikTok? If you have photos set to none, then they will not have access to your pictures. Veteran GA says he has a really good question.
Okay, go.
He says it's a really good question anyway. When taking pictures and videos on my iPhone, they are saved on the cloud and iPhone. I deleted the pictures on my iPhone. The pics are gone on cloud too. Why?
I assume you're using iCloud, right? So, and iCloud is just one of the clouds. There are many clouds. Clouds are not clouds. They're giant warehouses full of hard drives and servers. So the way clouds work, part of the reason they're so convenient is that they synchronize your photos between all of your devices. So if you delete it from one device, it also deletes it on all the other devices. And that's probably what happened. If you wanted to go back and rescue some photos, you can do that as well in the recently deleted folder or on iCloud.com.
Kelly Hunter, what are the best ways to keep your data safe on your iPhone? I've got passwords and two-factor authentication, but I have a pop-up saying I've had data breaches.
Oh my God. I've had enough of those pop-ups. Apple's telling me I have to reset like 1,000 passwords or something because it's been exposed in a data breach. I'm not doing that. Ignore it. That's my advice. I mean, companies are leaking our data like sieves, and they're going to keep leaking your data. So you can take a full day to reset a bunch of passwords, or you can just kind of hope for the best. I would just, instead of resetting all your passwords, just turn on two-factor authentication for the important accounts.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess even changing your passwords for accounts after the data breach happens, like the breach has already happened, so changing your password at this point is sort of doesn't really do anything.
Mm-hmm. Tammy says all her embroidery files are saved on cloud for the company I use their software, which is great. Nothing is saved on PC much anymore. I have 3 externals. It's great if you break your computer to have that, to have a backup locally and then a backup on the cloud. What is it they say? It's the 3-2-1 backup system, right? You have to have your backups in 3 different locations. No, 3 different kinds of media in 2 different locations. So you have like computer, external hard drive in cloud, and then 2 different locations, your computer and driver at home, and the cloud is in who knows where. That's if you want to be
Tom
really
Hoffner
safe.
wants to know, who plays the guitar in the man cave, or is that just for show?
Oh, this ain't no man cave, Tom. But there might be. I play the guitar in the man cave. Zach is the best guitar player of us. Yep. So